There are three types of men in this world. We got the genetically gifted, the beta buxers, and the cannon fodder. It's kind of a crazy opening, but let's review each one from the top down. So at the top, we have the genetically gifted men, or a better known term is Chads. They're usually tall, have good facial genetics, and lean more towards a Eurocentric phenotype. We all know what Chad is, right? Although the term Chad refers mainly to looks, I would like to extend this definition towards people who are gifted with other types of genetic advantages like intelligence or athleticism, because those are attributes that are rare. And if you're able to leverage them correctly, you can live a really good life if you have really good athletic ability or really good intelligence. So I would say those are similar to looks in the sense that you can leverage them to live a really good life and you have a massive advantage over other people. So that's what I would call genetically gifted men, right? A tier down from that, we have the beta buxers or the good lifers. These are usually men that are born into wealth or they built up their own wealth and are using that to usually, get women or increase their status, stuff like that. And usually they're not able to actually get, like relationships or love. They're just beta buxing, bro. It's not real love, right? And the last and final tier that we have is the cannon fodder males. And as the name suggests, these are men that society has just sent to war for all of its history. This is by far the largest demographic of men. If you're watching this, I can, fucking guarantee your fodder. You're just waiting for the next rehab room video on a Friday night while Chad is out, sleeping around. So, and you're watching this video, which is kind of fucking insane, right? So, some people think that inkwells are some type of new phenomenon that has been created by the modern world. But this couldn't be less true. Like, there have always been inkwells, but back then we called them excess males. Now, the main difference between excess males today and the past is that society used to have a plan for these men. If the Chads or the good lifers had too much cannon fodder men, you know what they did? They sent them off to a pointless war. Because if they didn't, they'd, start a revolt or something. And so they might have also they might have also called them a monk. They said, "Bro, you have a greater purpose. You're not just you're not just some excess man. No, you're a monk. You have a greater purpose and duty. That's why you can't touch women. They'll corrupt you, but not me. I'm corrupt free. I'm corruption free, But I guess for the majority of men, this didn't really work. Like, most men are not gonna just be a fucking monk and not touch women. So what the good lifers and Chads had to do is they had to compromise. So they gave the losers, the sub fives, the cannon fodder, whatever you want to call them, they gave them wives and land. So at least before they died in some pointless war, at least they were happy. At least they got laid like twice a week and had a family and land. But in the modern day, excess males aren't really given those copes anymore. We aren't sent to some war to die for the empire, and we aren't sent to become monks with a greater purpose. And we don't even get wives or land anymore. So why did they stop doing this? Because they don't have to anymore. It's mainly because of technology. Instead of crashing out over the system, we just sit here and watch Rehab Room and make these autistic black pill videos. It's so over, right? So what I want people to understand is that cannon fodder men and I guess beta buxers too, like they're the same men, right? But the only difference is that beta buxers have built up their money and their wealth, and they're able to leverage that a little bit. Status maxing doesn't really work, but you can get some woman with it, and that's usually what they're doing, right? They're getting with women like in their 30s that choose them as like a second choice. That's what beta buxers are. But I think that cannon fodder men have just a completely different DNA compared to Chad's. It's insane. It's like we come from different lineages. Some 5'6", like ethnic man sitting next to a 6'3" white Chad with blue eyes and blonde hair. Bro, they look like different. They look like a separate species, a different organism. It's insane, like a completely different organism, bro. You know that Kendrick song called DNA? There's a line that really caught my eye when listening to it, and it goes like this: problem is all that sucker shit inside your DNA. If that line doesn't perfectly explain fodder males, then I don't know what will. There's no escaping your oofy doofy DNA. You come from a long lineage of cannon fodder, right? There's a lot of men out there who think to themselves, bro, my ancestors, they were slaying, bro. They were fucking they were out there and fighting wars and drinking with their friends and fucking coming back home and sleeping with a woman. No, they were farmers. They were farmers, bro, who owed debts. Nothing has changed. In the same way that you owe land to you owe like a fucking payment to your landlord, they did the same thing, bro. They did the exact same thing. It's insane, bro. I don't know. I think that I don't know if there's an escape. I don't know if there is an escape from your oofy doofy blood. The best outcome you can have is just to like stack your money, live a comfortable life, and maybe you can get laid sometimes. You know, if you status max enough, if you looks max enough, if you do a lot of these things, you can live a comfortable life and get laid every once in a while and have fun. But I don't know. I think there are a lot of sub fives out there who genuinely are like, bro, I just want a woman to love me. Is that such a high standard? Yes. Yes. Yes, it is, bro. What the fuck? What do you think this is? Some Disney Channel shit? I just want a girl to love me. Bro, women have never loved men throughout history. They needed men. They didn't really love them. Love is not there's a reason why romance is such a popular genre in media. It's such a popular concept in movies and songs. And it's because romance, true romance, is exceedingly rare. I don't think most people experience true romance. You know, whenever a woman has like those love eyes, you know what I'm talking about, where they're looking up at their man and it looks like she's in love with him. That isn't love eyes. Those are lust eyes. She's just lusting after him, right? And that's what I don't know. I don't think that romance really exists, to be honest. I think that love exists. I think that like familial love exists, right? I don't know if romance exists, like love at first sight or any of that bullshit. I don't think any of that exists, right? Maybe like if you were in a relationship, if a 5 out of 10 girl was in a relationship with a 5 out of 10 guy, right? And she fucking hated his ass, right? Because she thought she was so much better than him, right? But if you spent 10 years, if she spent 10 years with this oofy doofy, she's probably gonna love him. If she spent 10 to 20 years and he's providing for her, right? And he's providing for her lifestyle, for the house, for the food that she eats and everything, I think she would eventually grow attached to a certain extent, right? But nowadays, women don't need men anymore. So it never gets to that state. It never gets to that state where you have a chance of her falling in love with you. I don't think that happens anymore because women, they don't need to be in a relationship. They can be completely independent now. That's why we're seeing the highest divorce rates we've ever seen before. I guess that's because of the collapse of like, religion and societal structures, but also because just women don't need men. Now they're out here looking for love, and the first place they look, the first place they look is fucking dating apps, and they look for Chad. That's the first place they look, bro. It's insane. What do you guys think of like this first video? Do you think this was good? Do you like my editing style and stuff? I think I'm just gonna keep this channel around to document my path on the black pill or whatever because I feel like in the future I'm just gonna become some fucking oofy doofy. That's the inevitable fate of like most cannon fodder men. We're just gonna become some oofy doofy who looks at our past and we're like, oh bro, the fucking black pill. Oh, I was on some weird shit back then. Huh. Fuck the black pill, dude. I got it. A woman who loves me. I hope that doesn't happen to me, but I feel like it is. So I'm gonna make this channel to drag my future self back to reality. So that's about it, I guess.